Perfect. Yes. Hello. Ah, we're recording this a day later than we usually do because reasons.
Yes,
So,
I tired last night.
so a couple of interesting things have happened since I've written this. So I guess I'll interject those as they come up. But nothing about the women, I don't think, changed.
Nah, the women still going.
Women, so
I haven't got close to the finals yet. Let's do it a couple of rounds.
they've got 3 weeks left, I think.
George,
I think they're 3 weeks away from finals.
George is
Yeah,
retired.
see, that's one thing I'll have to talk about. But first, we will go with the NRLW, where the Raiders might actually be good now.
We'll get going this year, though.
I always figured it would happen at some point. But like beating the Dogs, who had Tamanio back this week, who she was excellent, but they beat them like 32 points. It was a shellacking. Yeah, I have no idea where this performance came from, but I love it.
Well, hopefully they can back it up next week.
Let's hope so. I thought Tafuga, Tamina, and Taufa were all excellent.
Three teams.
Yeah, I tried to come up with a pun for that, and I couldn't think of anything. But they were all great. Tamina had 4 tries. Tafuga broke 14 tackles. Taufa had 160 meters. They were the big three for
Is
them.
always
She's great, isn't she? The Dogs, as I mentioned, brought back Tamanio. She scored 2 tries, had 130 meters. She was quite strong. But basically, their entire defensive structure was torn apart, for lack of a better term.
the Dogs are getting underwhelming. I know that it's their first year in.
They started the year fairly well.
Yeah.
They've taken it off now. It's sad.
Anyway.
We will, yes. But yeah, that's happened. I'm really liking what the Raiders are showing now. They won't make finals, but for next year, this is a really good
Good stepping stone, yeah. Yep.
The Titans beat the Dragons, which makes them somehow enter the top 6, as everybody predicted, led by a Georgia Gray hat trick and a strong Jessica Elliston performance. They were both very, very strong. No players for the Dragons ran over 100 meters. That tells you how bad they were in this game. Tegan Berry can only do so much. I feel bad for her. Yeah. The Dragons completed at 58%.
That's
It was
terrible.
bad.
It was no wonder then, isn't it? I mean, it doesn't make you wonder at all once you see that stat.
In what has become a weekly tradition, the Roosters and Broncos have completely trounced whoever runs into their way. Brisbane was Newcastle,
Who were number 3.
which basically gives everyone else no hope for beating these two teams. I think. No,
I think from the start of the year, this was the we could say it's going to be a Brisbane Roosters grand final.
yeah, I feel like it might be that way for a while.
Perhaps the Roosters may be the favourites for that.
Yeah, I have no idea. I can't pick.
Well, the Roosters have already beaten them once this year, so
Yes, but it was solely based on goal kicking.
Mm.
I remember that one. It was a 30-26 win. It was 5 tries apiece. So on a different day, that could go completely different.
very closely. They're very closely matched. Newcastle, I think, are great for and against them. Not Newcastle. The Roosters are.
The Roosters are still a game ahead. They haven't lost yet.
They haven't lost. So, and yeah, that's if they get through it without losing, that would be the first time.
Yeah, and it's the fact that they've already played Brisbane, who are the second best team by far and away, and didn't lose to them. They probably will go through the regular season without losing.
I would imagine.
But good on them.
Yeah.
Karen Aiken is great for Brisbane. She's awesome. 2 tries, 200 meters, force dropout, 8 tackle breaks. Julia Robinson continues to be phenomenal.
234 meters. That's mental.
He's insane. So, because I remember talking earlier in the season, like after about 3 or 4 weeks, how Isabel Kelly was probably going to win the Women's Dally M. I think Robinson has made a big push in the past few weeks. I'm very intrigued to see who ends up getting it. It's great. Shalom Salaso, absolutely my favorite bench forward in the league. She played 48 minutes, scored a try, 20 runs for 236 meters, 13 tackle breaks, all in 48 minutes.
The only other team that has bench forwards to do that are the Warriors. Yeah.
She was insane. I love watching her play. So
tackle buff. That's crazy.
Yeah. The Sharks, they scraped by the Warriors. Emma Veron was their best by what I thought was quite a fair distance. 2 tries.
One of the best players in the comp. So it helps.
Yeah. And we brought up the bench forwards for the Warriors. Marata Butler was excellent in this game. She churned out 42 minutes, 170 meters, 7 tackle breaks, and 4 offloads. Very, very good performance.
Such a good.
And got a great
I think that's really good for them for the years to come because those players will end up, yeah, absolutely.
They build off that. It's great for them. I'm very, very excited to see where the Warriors end up going. To finish off the round, we have a good football team.
Very good football team.
Finally!
How good are they going?
This was great. This was my favorite performance from them
Oh,
because
so good.
this team gives me shades of what the 2022 men's Cowboys were like. They had that mantra of win the game early and score the points late. That's exactly what this game
The halftime was 12-8, right? So,
and then all they did was just they tied them out the first half. The Tigers couldn't hold on to the ball in the second half, and they racked up 20 points. Just excellent football. Emma Menzelman is the best player in the NRLW. She is amazing. There's nothing to say.
I think she's got a really good football brain, right? She knows when to run, she knows when to pass, she knows when to. The only thing I would say, sometimes she rockets passes that she probably needs to feather a bit more, but
that's fair.
Apart from that, she really doesn't have too many negatives at all. No, she's a tackle bot. Oh,
yeah, awesome. Like she scored a try, had 97 running meters from dummy half, 34 tackles with only one miss. Very, very strong.
Yeah, very good.
I thought the forward pack as a whole was great. I thought Lily Peacock, Lillian Yarrow, and Double Dash were all great. I thought it was easily Haley J. Ormond Mouse's best game of the season. Always looking to offload, looked very likely with the ball. She was awesome. Brent Goldthorpe was in the wars the entire night. I think she nearly sprained her ankle 5 seconds.
It looked really bad. I thought she was out at least once.
She tripped on though. She was great. I really liked seeing Ja'Kai Whitfield in the centres for this because we got to see how good her defense still is, and especially with the Roosters game coming up next week.
Going the defense is going to
Isabel Kelly. I think that is a good sign.
I think she's Whitfield's one of the best defensive players we've seen.
Oh, that's
out here.
Yeah.
But she doesn't miss tackles. She literally, I don't know.
Well, I think
she's
she does.
one.
She's very, very strong.
It was good to see Wheel back after being out for a week. That's good. It strengthens up that middle a little bit with her defending. But I mean, she didn't have a massive game, but she was coming back from an injury.
But that's good. The fact that she didn't stand out amongst the rest of the forward pack means the rest of the forward pack did their job.
Yeah.
Very, very happy with that. I thought Kira did. Her running was excellent here, especially being the 5'8" now. That's really good to see.
That double dummy try was excellent.
That was beautiful.
The taller guys, girls in the comp.
She's not short.
She's got probably, my personal opinion, I think he's probably got the biggest boot.
I would not be surprised.
Because she kicks from way further than anybody else does.
Now that the Tigers aren't playing Lasana Lutu anymore, I think that's probably the fair one. But it's just really, really good. They are currently the best defensive team. However, I do believe that comes as a function of being the only team that hasn't played Brisbane or the Roosters yet.
Yeah, but I mean, they haven't actually had the chance to test their defence out against the best attacking teams in the comp yet. And I think that's what we can look at in the next couple of weeks anyway.
Yeah, the next 3 weeks are going to show how far this team could possibly get into the final series. I'll be happy if they make the second to last.
I think the semis, that would be fine. I would be very impressed with that. That's a big
final. I want to go to that game.
If you're going to a home final, would be awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was very, very good for the Cowboys. I'm very, very happy with this performance.
Yep. And look, they've only really had 2 mediocre performances, and they lost those ones.
Yeah.
Well, they had one bad performance.
Yeah.
One mediocre performance. If they keep their levels up, they're coming up against some big teams, but there's no reason why they can't at least be competitive.
Yeah, exactly. That's all I'm looking for against the top 2 teams, really. It was, for the Tigers, I thought their first half was great. I thought they played very well.
They tried really hard, didn't they? Yeah. But like you said before, the Cowboys, and they ran out of gas. The Cowboys beat them into the ground and then stomped on them a little bit.
Yes.
The Cowboys, not so much for the Tigers, especially at Leichhardt.
Exactly. For the Tigers, I thought the Manera, Kezi Apps, and Sarah Togatuki were all great. That's their usual.
They always are, yeah.
Their debutante bench forward.
5,000 hyphens in her name.
Now, I think they ended just calling Ruby Fafita. Yeah. It was it David Fafita's cousin?
Sister. Yeah, that's right. Therefore related to any of the other Fafitas.
All the other Fafitas, yeah. I thought she was great. I thought she was really, really good off the bench. They've got a good one there.
Mm.
They just looked frustrated.
Yeah.
Now they are the only team in the NRLW that's only won one game. They're probably going to win the spoon now. I feel bad for them.
Unfortunately, I guess it has happened to one of the teams.
Yeah, unfortunately.
But even if they won 2 or 3, they could still get the spoon. That's the problem.
Yeah, that's the issue. Yeah, I just, this was a good game to watch as a Cowboys fan.
Absolutely.
I'm very happy with it.
It was. And like I said, they had their low missed tackles, they had low errors, they were good, considering it was wet.
Good for them.
Yeah.
Let's on to Sydney. We'll see how that goes. Now
It is up here, though, in Townsville. So
it is. Now the men. Mixed bag this week.
Yeah.
That being said, though, I thought it was a great round of football. Specifically because of one day. But
Well, we know that. But I think overall the games were relatively high standards. So,
I agree. This was a game that did not need to be played. The Bunnies beat the Dragons 40-0. It was a shock.
Is one try closer to breaking?
You're doing 3 to break it now?
Yeah.
we weren't worried that the try that he scored was with a metre and a half forward pass.
This was so far forward. It was so.
You don't get that.
I cannot believe that one. That was insane.
We're not going to say anything against the touch judges.
As long as the one he scores to beat Ken Irvin's record isn't like that, I do not care.
And look, listening to the commentary, and they're probably right. I'm sure that Irvin probably scored a couple of forward passes himself. I mean, that's what happens. So, but with the amount of people they've got looking at the game now, they should be able to
They
pick
should
up
be
on
able to
those
pick
things.
something. Yeah, that's fair.
Anyway,
But-
it wouldn't matter in the end anyway.
One try does not 40 points make. So yes,
The seconds were a trash fire.
South Sydney went full Vorpal bunny on these guys. 56% of the ball they completed at 95%.
The Wolf Bunny is from the Holy Grail movie.
Yes.
White people's heads off.
References that actually probably a lot of people would
I would
understand.
suggest so. Monty Python and the Holy Grail, Wolf Bunny.
That was great.
Yes.
Yes. But yeah, the Bunnies just dominant. They made 12.5 more meters per set than the Dragons did. It was just domination. They only missed 13 tackles.
350.
Giant-
No line.
No line breaks, 350 meters. He is awesome.
He's just the energizer bunny.
I love him.
I mean,
He's so great.
Like 54 points in fantasy.
I think Jai Gray is one of my favourite players. And it kind of frustrates me that he continually gets pushed out for Latrell Mitchell. I do think Latrell's role moving forward in this team should be
He's centre. Yeah, I think
I
so.
don't think
Yeah. You've got him. It's like for the Gold Coast, Keanu Kinney comes back. He's got to be the fullback.
Exactly. It's exactly the same.
And with the Keon Colasani, as we came back, he was excellent. He was such a good forward.
Boy, have they missed him.
Oh, and you can see when teams start getting back some of their players.
They
can
actually
play. Yeah,
This is going to be the biggest what-if season of all time, I think.
I do feel for him a little bit, but not a huge amount.
You don't like South.
I don't mind. I just don't like some of their players.
Okay. I guess,
Actually, one of them.
yes, I know you do. But yes, you brought up Keon, nearly 200 meters. He played 70 minutes. You know who he is? He's just Terrell May. Like, they play almost the exact same brand of football.
Yes, and probably from the same place, to be fair, as well. Yeah.
Talis Duncan, been incredibly versatile this year, running centre this week, scored 2 tries with over 200 meters.
He breaks tackles.
He's finally turning into the player that I think they wanted him to be last year.
Mm.
He's progressed somewhat slowly, but now he's looking really, really strong. They've got a good forward
Yeah,
in Talis Duncan.
I think they do. He certainly hasn't had too many weaknesses in the last couple of weeks, that's for sure.
It's just a good all-round game from the Bunnies. Because it is 2025 and this is the Rabbitohs, it means that Brandon Smith gets hit with 2 criminal charges. I remember in our pre-season show when we did the ladder predictions, I said that the Bunnies needed to keep the off-field drama to a minimum. They've done so well with that.
Well, that's the problem with getting Brandon Smith.
Yeah, I suppose you run that risk.
He's got a
don't
bit of
you?
baggage there, yeah.
It's like starting I suppose. And look, this team is cursed.
St. George were bad. St. George.
Yeah.
St. George were very, very
They were
bad.
bad. Hey,
It's like-
we're forced to play Damien Cook at lock for this game, which, to his credit, made 60 tackles and missed none.
That's pretty impressive.
But, I think a lock should be making more than 36 meters.
There's this lovely name that you like.
I'm going to pronounce it.
Gahu.
Yes, I have the respect for him now to pronounce it as Howard Gallo. I thought he was really, really strong. He 124 meters, 45 tackles, no misses. He was
Yeah.
very good. They just didn't really have a chance. They really never had
And look,
any shots to win this game.
I know you don't like him very much, but they're probably missing Valentine Holmes out in the centres a little bit and his kick.
Probably,
But one player doesn't stop 40
But
points.
obviously, the big thing for this game is they came into it without three of their first choice forwards. So I think that messed with them a lot, especially with the Bunnies getting Keon Kalama back. They could have really needed Zach Bell here.
Yeah, you need to be able to fight fire with fire, and they didn't really have
They
that.
just didn't have the chance.
Yeah.
It's just the
So
Dragons.
well done, Bunnies. Bad luck, Dragons.
The Dragons have won 9 games this year.
They're ahead of the Cowboys.
They are not that bad a team. They've just been unlucky. I swear.
Well, they're not really ahead of the Cowboys because we have one game.
We have half a game in front of
and
them.
we're a bye.
Well, they also haven't had their bye yet.
Well, they have it this week, don't
Yeah,
they?
but they're on 9 wins. The Cowboys are now on 9 wins.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay.
1 point.
Yeah. Oh,
Yes. Now we move on to some good games.
We're actually
what miracle! At Mudgee.
Last week, when we talked about this game, I said this. This is the best game that's ever been played at Mudgee. Holy crap, was I right. This is the best game that's ever been played at Mudgee, and possibly one of the best games played, period.
Well, it was a very good game.
Oh, man.
I mean, considering Penrith were playing very, very well, and I hate saying that because I hate Penrith. For the first 55 minutes of the game, they were in front. And then it's like Canberra flicked a switch and said, you know what? We're going to score some points now ourselves.
Yeah.
And they couldn't stop them.
I'm going to talk about the Raiders first.
Yes.
Because I just thought annoying these guys by delaying talking about Penrith as much as possible. But I am going to give full credit to the Raiders.
Yeah.
Now, I thought, because I was at work, but I rewatched this game later on. Down 16-6, it should have been over. This game I thought was over.
Yeah.
And they fought back and forced Golden Point. And then they scored possibly one of the best tries of the decade.
That will probably try of the year.
Like, there's so many Raiders tries that could just be try of the year.
There's at least one other try from this weekend's round that could actually just fight that one.
Why can't the Raiders? I hate the Raiders because they can't win games in normal ways. I do not like it, but they keep winning.
Yeah.
53% of the ball completed at 85%. They ran over 2 kilometres. They were stronger in the middle of the field than Penrith were. And that was always going to be where they won this game.
Yeah.
And eventually it worked.
Yeah, it was. And look, Penrith probably didn't lose too many supporters apart from those who hope that they don't go to Golden Point ever. Because they are losing every Golden Point they play at the moment.
Back-to-back weeks losing
With tries.
Just try it. They're going to single-handedly bring in the golden try rule.
It's more exciting if it's a try. Yeah.
The best wins any teams have had this year was Melbourne last week, and now the Raiders this week, and it makes
Because
so
they
much
scored a
better
try.
football.
Yeah. This penalty, this field goal shootout.
Yeah, it's like the penalty shootouts at the end of soccer games. No one likes them.
They get a bit boring.
I like golden try. This is pretty
Golden try could be a thing. They've talked about it before. Well,
at least in finals.
yeah.
If you're going to implement it, do it in finals first to see how that goes.
What happened, what they did is because of the Cowboys, Brisbane Grand Final 2015, they brought in that every finals game goes the extra 5 and 5, and then it's sudden death if nothing happens.
I guess the one, I think you could do it both ways. You can implement both and say that a try automatically wins, but if you want to kick a field goal, you still have to play out the 10 minutes, and if you're in front at the end, you win the game anyway. I think that would be a fair compromise.
Start getting a little bit confusing to a lot of people at that point. I still don't mind the 5 either way, just to try and get a winner after 10.
Yeah.
After the 90 minutes.
I don't know.
See what happens.
I guess we will see. I brought up the Raiders forward pack. Joe Tarpany, Hudson Young, Zach Hoskin, Corey Horsburgh all put in work.
They just fought, didn't they?
Corey Horsburgh is amazing. I thought he was my favourite player watching this game. He churned out 72 minutes, which is one of his highest of the entire season. 140 metres, 53 tackles with only 3 misses. He was great. Joe Tarpany also scored a try. He's back to seemingly higher minutes in the warm-up to finals, which I think is great management from Ricky Stewart.
30 metres so much, but he made a lot of tackles.
He had a lot of tackles, yeah.
Did score that try, which was a very good try.
Right, yeah. It's just awesome. Also, you can't talk about the Raiders without talking about one Ethan Strange. If you
He was giving Nathan Cleary nightmares.
if you were to face the Dally M in the latter half of the year,
He wins.
he wins it.
Easy.
He's the form player of the competition.
Yeah, just because James Tedesco had that amazingly big run in there, it probably puts him still a favourite.
I cannot believe that Tedesco's ended up winning the Dally M.
He could. He may not yet. I
He's
remember.
going there.
Oh, you what?
He won't, unfortunately.
It's funny, but I don't think it would happen.
They still get 5-8.
Upstairs.
I think there's a good chance of getting.
I have no idea how they're going to adjudicate that, but we'll go into that with the Cowboys because there's
Maybe they'll just give most of the points to the position that he played the most in.
yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll see how that goes. But yeah, Ethan Strange, 2 tries, including the game-winning one, 9 runs for 170 meters. So 80 of that, I think, came in 1 run. 8 tackle breaks, amazing. And man of the moment, KO Weeks, he had a blinder. The game-winning try, 280 meters, 9 tackle breaks. This is what this guy can do because he is so fast.
There was one little downer that happened during the game, unfortunately, where they lost Xavier Savage.
Yes, they did lose Xavier Savage. Shoulder injury?
Yeah, so he's another one that runs like KO Weeks, right? He's
Yeah.
fast as he is, and
So
they
that
need that, but at least they get somebody coming back, which we'll talk about
yes,
later.
we'll talk about that. I'm perfectly content with calling the Raiders the real deal now. This win has completely changed my tune as to them being frauds.
They've won easy, they've won hard, but nothing like this.
They've beaten a team that was on the rise.
Yeah.
Like, even discounting
The Melbourne loss.
because they weren't bad in that game.
No.
They were still, and they played exceptionally well in this game, and the Raiders still beat them.
And this was actually with Yo.
Yes, and Isaiah Yo was back this week, which gives even more credence to the
Yeah.
Raiders. What a game.
Because I thought Yo was actually pretty good.
But he's always good. I don't think I could name.
I don't know how. I simply don't know how. But he's just lanky and long, and he can apparently break as many tackles as he
Can't
wants.
be tackled.
I know. Crazy.
Full credit, Ricky Stewart,
Oh.
everyone who works at the Raiders. They've built such a great, likable team with a very, very promising young core.
He's the only person in that team I don't like.
You don't like Hudson Young. do you?
Hudson Young.
I know you don't like him.
Because he's another one of these guys who has to be a grub at times when he doesn't need to because he's such a good footballer.
I don't think he did that much in this game, which is very impressive considering he was running at Liam Martin for a lot of it. That's some excellent self-control, Hudson. Well done.
Yeah.
Because Martin would certainly want he's got another one of those faces that you want to punch.
I think you just want to punch people all the time.
No, just certain
Do
people.
I need to stage an intervention?
No, certain people. I wouldn't do it because he's like twice the size. So, no.
Just pieces apart from where they go. I punch all of them.
Nathan Cleary, you'd break your fist. Okay, anyway, keeping on moving. Dylan Edwards was bad.
He's really starting to worry me. That's back-to-back weeks where he's made really poor at really crucial times.
Yeah,
It's very un-Dylan
it's
Edwards.
not, handling is not something he generally has a problem with.
He's always so
And
solid.
he's still sold under the high ball. It's when somebody passes it to him, he seems to go, yeah.
Nah, it's very, very concerning.
Well, for Penrith fans' sake, I suppose they hope that he can get over that little yip, but everybody else doesn't care.
I think the big thing for this was the Panthers forwards just ran out of gas in the second half. Then you can see that by 6 of the Raiders forwards made it over 100 of like the 7, 8 that they used, whereas only 4 of Penrith's did, and only 3 of them only made 100 by like 5 or 6 meters. The leading runner, I think, was Isaiah Papali'i in this game with 130. So
He was pretty good.
that was always where Penrith were going to struggle in this game. And they played with them for most of this game. They just didn't have the cattle to do it. Moses Leota was good though.
I like Moses.
He's really quietly excellent season.
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially
He's come out of the shadow of Harris, right? So
Shout out.
we're actually talking about that.
Shout out to Nathan Cleary. Hitting the post.
I think he nearly broke the post.
That was a good kick.
Flex. Yes, we'll talk about this. So obviously the field goal missing is the big thing.
However,
I want to
it
know.
shouldn't have gone that far
Yes,
because Fogarty missed a very gettable conversion.
he's done that quite a bit this
Yeah.
year. His goal kicking radar's been up. But even beyond that,
Yeah.
I want to know what was going through Liam Martin's head when it's Jed Stewart, I think, who takes the rebound off the post. The ball bounces, which means as soon as Stewart touches it, he's fair game. And two Panthers run into him and then do this.
I'm thinking they got called out of it by the referee. I think they must have been in front.
No, I went back and looked at this.
Okay.
They were at least 3 meters onside.
Well, that's interesting.
I have no idea what was
Unless they thought because he was in the air, he couldn't be tackled.
Yes,
They didn't understand that once the ball bounces, it's okay.
that's the only thing I can think of. Which, in that case, is very, very disappointing.
Not very. Yeah, I understand what you're saying. It's not disciplined. They should have known that. Right?
Although, with how convoluted the NRL is now, I almost can't blame them for forgetting about how one really complicated rule worked.
Yeah, but there's still a lot to do even then. Jed had to get the ball out to somebody.
Ethan Strange to let him run
He
away
just
down
took
the
him
field.
on.
Yeah,
We forget how strong Ethan Strange is. He's another one like Tedesco who's really, and Ponga, who are really strong through the hips. And he's very hard to tackle.
but yeah,
Like I said, he gave Nathan Cleary nightmares all night.
It
He
is-
could not tackle him.
yeah, it is. Look, it's back to back heartbreaks for Penrith. They can't make the top four now. I think they've kind of resigned to that fact. I still think they'll be a threat come finals, but winning the grand final is looking less and less
Yeah,
likely.
from seventh or wherever they might finish, that's going to be
It's
hard.
going to be a tough
They
one.
won't have one home game. If they finish seventh or eighth, they will not have a home game at all.
I hope this is the beginning of the end. I still want them to be good because I like witnessing good teams.
Yeah, I do too, but it's also nice to share it around a little bit.
Fair. It's like I guess it's like
And with Storm win, I guess it becomes a bit, oh, Storm again. I mean, it's only been Penrith and the Storm for the last zillion years.
Penrith have been were bad for a considerable amount of time, and now are very good. Melbourne have never been terrible. That's what frustrates me. If they even had 1 year where they finished in the bottom four, I would not be nearly. Okay, bastards.
Well, the system is the players weren't. They were just playing.
You know what I mean, though?
Yeah.
I still think my methodology is solid because Melbourne have not been bad for the entire time I've been alive.
That's it.
I'm getting tired of it.
It's Craig Bellamy, I guess. I mean, he obviously knows how to get the best out of players.
But yeah,
That was a great game of football to watch,
moving on to another great game of football to watch.
which I actually thought was not going to be great after the first little bit.
No, I thought that the Storm were going to run away with it.
The
But wow, I'm going
Eagles came back. That was
3 tries apiece at the end. It's just because Stephen Crichton can't kick.
no.
I don't know why they didn't give it to Matt Burton at some point in this game. But, Canterbury played so much better than I thought they would in this game.
Yeah, they have been on a low the last couple of weeks, but that won't lose them too many.
I don't think so.
And that will still give the rest of the competition a little bit of pause because that shows that they're still able to compete with the best teams.
The big thing for me was how active Lockie Galvin was in this game. Because the past few weeks, he'd barely run the ball. The last 3 weeks, he had run 32 times with the ball. This game alone, he ran 28 times. He was so active, engaging the line and in attack. I thought it was his best game for the Dogs by far.
And look, I'm not a big Galvin fan because I don't like the way he ditched the Tigers and all that sort of stuff. But like you said, it's still going to take some time for him to fully meld into the Bulldog system, and
Unfortunately, they're running out.
they are, I know, and that's the problem with changing their halfback mid-season. I would have brought him in, but let Sexton stay because that team was absolutely killing everyone. So, and as soon as he came in, they started the downward spiral.
Yeah.
And they haven't been able to pull themselves out of it just yet.
Yeah. This is better signs for them.
It is, but they need to.
Other Bulldogs. Harry Hayes should have won this football game for them, but decided to not put the ball down, which is happening a lot this year.
I know.
People have forgotten how to score tries.
We'll just run over there and go,
And Xavier Coates says no, which he's done a lot this year because Xavier Coates is amazing. And Viliami Kikau as well has had a very, very good season. He was great here, scored a try, nearly 150 metres, 4 offloads, very, very strong performance. I think my big fix for this team would be to drop Jamin Salmon completely, start Kurt Mann at lock, and bring Josh Curran onto the bench.
I think
For the sake of-
is excellent.
For the sake of bolstering the forward pack and starting the game with really good ball playing.
And like energy.
Exactly. He got into Origin specifically because of that.
Yeah. And he was very good in Origin too. He set up a try and everything. So
I really think Kurt Mann should be starting in this team. And I don't know why Josh Curran got dropped, but I thought he was having a good year.
I wonder
There's some,
maybe it's a training or something. Who knows? I
he
mean,
was out of favour at the Warriors, I think, for that reason, so it's possible.
maybe,
But I feel like Tupanua isn't that much better. I didn't think he was great in this game. I thought Max King was quiet. There was a lot of quiet players, but they only lost because of goals. So good on them. I trust Geraldo to figure it out.
I think we'll.
I still think they'll be a quality team.
And Melbourne just keep going on their
Melbourne
their last 14 games now.
This was impressive. They only had 46% of the ball in this game. They had 420 less meters. They conceded 10 line breaks. Melbourne conceded 10 line breaks and had Harry Grant sin bin, and now he's out for the rest of the regular season. And they still won.
Really, that might actually help.
Maybe. He gets a rest now. Involuntary.
Yeah, he doesn't want to, but that's the way it goes.
But yeah, I thought Pappenhausen being back in this game really, really helped.
That was excellent. Just sliced through, bang, see you later.
Yeah. But I still think the most important aspect right now is how well Cameron Munster is playing. In the absence of Jerome Hughes, he's gone to another level.
Absolutely. But they've got a really good foil there as well.
Melbourne, it locks them into a top 2 spot, essentially.
Oh, they get 2 more games, which is going to be very hard to win
for
anybody else.
The big thing was Harry Grant got sin bin, and they defended their asses off on the goal line. It was very, very good to watch them.
And that's one of the things to be looking at because, goal line defense is very important.
If only it were that simple to emanate Melbourne. Yeah, same thing.
If you want to emanate them, that would be pretty uncomfortable.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
But yeah, it's just good for Melbourne and the Dogs.
They were bored.
They were just bored. You have anything to say about this game other than the fact that it was amazing? You never were. Dale never watches the games. He's just here for listening to me yell at Dad most of the time.
We converse.
I suppose. Very loudly at times, yes. Then moving on to Saturday, which opened with the presumed death of the Dolphins because Manly decided to actually play attack in the defense's optional bowl. There were 88 points scored in this game.
It is, I think, the 8th biggest score ever.
Massive. And look, it's a good thing for Taylor Cherry Evans' 350th. Good on him.
It wasn't a great game to watch.
Not really.
Look, I mean,
Most of
the Contribution was good.
He had a very good game.
But
he was playing against a team that really has nothing, so everyone gets deluded and think, oh, he's back. No, he won't. As soon as he comes up against a team with an actual good forward pack, he's going to do nothing again.
They're playing Warriors this week.
It'll be fun. But, looking at them, they made 55 meters a set. They had 10 line breaks, 500 more meters. It was just domination for Manly, really. There's not much really to say about them.
And I think you've written it down, but I don't think their coach would have been happy them conceding 30 points, most of which came in the second half.
Oh, yeah, exactly. 30 points is a lot to concede. I think, look, this game kind of meant nothing until a game that happened later on this day, but it was good for Manly to win. It keeps their very, very slim hopes of finals alive.
Yeah.
And if they, look, I just said that it probably won't happen, but if Turbo can do this every week, maybe they have a shot.
Yeah,
maybe.
It's like the Dumb and Dumber thing. And there's a chance.
Yeah. And DCE was good, but that was only because it was his 350th and he actually cared about looking good in this game. Yeah.
Yeah. No, well done, Sea Eagles, Dolphins. You have to lick your wounds and come back next year.
It's just the injuries in the forward pack are exacerbated by the fact that they don't have Herbie Farnworth to make all the meters. So they are just stuck with having Isaiah Katoa trying to do everything with no space. Yeah. And eventually the makeshift forward pack just can't handle it anymore. So it's just that left side defense was really, really bad. There was so many openings down that side. The Tafita Now Fahu side, I think it was. He was just really poor on the end of the line. But Jeremy Marshall King is good. Somebody's good. Someone has to be. And Kula came from Finifuyaki. He's all right.
He was pretty good. He tried hard.
He was hurt. Yep.
Anyway.
The Dolphins. They play the Dolphins running the Titans and the Raiders on the way home. Those are two very lose.
One of them they will lose. One of them is possible for them to
I think
win.
both of them are very losable games. They need Herbie back ASAP. Unfortunately, I think his prognosis was the end of the regular season, which, if they don't make the finals, means the rest of the year. So that's the problem for them, unfortunately. I feel really, really bad for them.
Up until that point, they were going relatively well. They were
It's like 50 in 2 weeks. They were running scores up on teams. It was good to watch, but now they just run out of cattle.
yeah.
It's
It happens to all teams when they
yeah, look,
start losing
injuries
players.
hit teams every year. It's just timing, and this was the worst possible timing.
Yep.
It's just sad,
Yep. Unfortunately.
unfortunately.
Bad luck, Dolphins.
Bad luck,
This was
Dolphins.
another game that nobody really cared about.
Bad luck, Titans. Titans bad.
Titans are very bad. Yeah.
I'm so tired of the Titans being terrible. Anyway, but yeah, they have nothing to play for. The Warriors were playing to hold on to a top 4 spot after Penrith lost the night
And it
before,
showed.
and it showed.
Yeah.
They won. They won fairly well. I
Yeah,
thought
it was pretty
54% of the ball. They completed 85%. That's exactly what you want to see.
Yeah.
Richard Tuvas is getting better as the year goes on.
He's coming back to some of his Roosters form right now. And he's absolutely smashing it. I'm liking it.
And for some reason, Channel Harris DeVita,
He's excellent.
I don't know what's going on.
He's selling, I don't know, John Johnson at the moment. Yeah. It is.
Because he, for a long period of time, was basically, he comes in
So he'd have to be able to defend, yeah.
Wade Egan. He is the reason this team is good 90% of the time. And great having him back.
Good having him back. And I certainly missed him.
I love watching him back. However, I think the big thing was moving Charles Nickel-Klokstad back.
He has to be fullback.
That was huge for them.
Yeah.
Great decision there from Webster.
He's just
If they can stay in the top 4, who knows what could happen. That's what this season is like.
easily one of their games would be down in New Zealand.
New Zealand, yeah, exactly.
Where they grow another legs. So, because they have
Yeah,
35,000 screaming New Zealanders. So,
yeah. Look, they played well. That's all you can
yeah,
ask.
they did.
If they play like this, they'll win more often than they lose.
Yeah, they played some good percentage footy,
Yeah.
and that's all you need to do.
I thought Tanner Boyd was a lot better than he had been the past 2 weeks before he got dropped. I thought he was quite good in this game.
That's because it was a revenge game.
I suppose. But yeah, the Titans have just given up, I think. They're young.
That's the point.
Dave Fafita wants to leave.
Dez is gone.
Tino wants to leave. Now Dez is gone. There's just nothing to play for now, except maybe avoiding the spoon. But I don't think they care about that anymore.
I don't think they can really avoid it. They need to definitely beat the Dolphins next week.
They need to win one game
Yeah.
and hope that the Knights don't.
Yeah.
But yeah, Tino in this game I thought was all right. He scored a try, made 48 tackles, 150 meters, standard Tino stuff.
He's so good.
When
he goes back to Melbourne,
I will cry. I will physically start weeping in the middle of a Coles or wherever I am when I see that news. I will drop to my knees and weep.
because like Melbourne need another forward like that.
I'd die. Also, Dylan Campbell has seemingly developed a propensity to have complete brain farts for no reason. In this game, 20-minute tap, forgets to tap the ball.
The guy's just pass it.
Game against the Rabbits, forgets to score a try. He needs to get that out of his game.
Yeah.
They made 15 errors.
Yeah, that's not good.
That's the reason they lost this game. But if they
And they're bad.
and if they keep playing like this, they are going to get
I
spoon.
think they're getting the spoon.
I think you're probably right.
Yeah, unfortunately for them.
But I guess we will see.
On to two teams that aren't getting the spoon.
This
Only one play like they might be getting the spoon.
this game is a lesson on how quickly the NRL landscape changes. The Eels take advantage of a weakened Roosters side. They've had their win total. Although I do think that summary of this game is a bit reductive about how good Parramatta were in this game.
They're actually good. They had a lot. From what I saw, a lot more energy than the Roosters had.
Absolutely, it was great.
They ran on the ball hard. It was good to watch.
Yeah,
them play.
They had 62% of the field position, which is excellent for them.
Now we will caveat, obviously.
I will get into that.
Okay. Yeah.
For the Eels, I thought Josh Adokar had his best game in a very long time. He was very, very strong in contact. His 150 meters, I think, came from like 10 runs or something.
You're one of those.
True.
Would have decently.
Or it was an intercept or whatever it was.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was good. I think Jack Williams is really coming along. And for some reason, Dylan Brown,
Yeah,
Centre.
in the centre. Well, it just goes to show that a good player can play just about anywhere you put him, I suppose.
Yes. Yeah, they've won 8 games now. This was the season of what if Mitch Moses was healthy?
Mhm.
That's the thing.
Without him, they're such a different.
I kind of like the Eels now. I still don't like Jason Riles as a coach, but I like the playing group. I think
Yeah, I would like Moses more if he wasn't a LeBron James and he didn't just flop every time anything happened or he win. He's a whinger.
He's a winner. That's fair.
He's such a. He doesn't need to. He's a good player.
Yeah.
That's what annoys me about it. I mean, I know Munster can kind of whinge a bit as well. He doesn't flop. He whinges at the refs, which a lot of people do, to be fair. But well, yeah. But this guy flops.
Yes.
And plays up for everything. And until they start throwing in penalties for milking, it's going to keep happening over and over and over and over.
I do think that's fair.
The Roosters, the big thing. 7 minutes into this game, Sam Walker goes low on Kalmatualangi, cops an elbow. He's out for this week and next week against Melbourne. So what that does is re-enters Manly and the Dolphins into the finals discussion because they're only 1 win behind.
Yeah.
So that is a huge, huge
The
thing.
only problem for Manly is I think their for and against is a little worse than
Their for and against is terrible. I think the
Yeah.
Dolphins one is better than the Roosters for and against. So
Mm.
they're the one that's most likely.
Yeah. Most likely. I'm not sure that's going to happen, but yeah.
Parramatta did win this game. However, best player on the park, easily, Mark Nwangani to last.
Oh, look.
He had a blinder.
So annoying.
Man, he's so good.
He's still a bit of handling at times that he can stuff up
Yeah,
because he tries too hard at a lot of stuff.
he's what Zach Lomax thinks Zach Lomax is. That is what he is.
Yeah.
I think that's exactly what he is. 126 meters, 2 try assists, 3 offloads. He was great. Everyone else was terrible. They completed at like 56% or something. He was the worst.
Yeah, but that's the thing. They come into a game, first of all, without their leading try scorer of it all time,
That's true.
and lose their halfback, like you say, 5-6 minutes into the game. And
So having played Connor Watson at 5'8"
yeah,
period of time, that goes about as well as you.
and look, well done to the Eels for taking advantage of it, as most teams would, right?
So, here's the situation now. So the Roosters play the Storm next week without Sam Walker, which is at this point going to be a loss. And then they run into the Bunnies in round 27, which could literally be anything. I have no idea what that game is going to be. So, and then the 2 teams back in it, Seagulls, Dolphins. The Seagulls run to St. George and then go back to Brookvale to face the Warriors at the end of the season. The Finns play 2 home games against the Titans and the Raiders, who will possibly be resting everybody because this is the final week.
So they do have the opportunity.
They do have a
I think
chance.
they beat the Titans, but I still think, this is
really-
I know there's home games and all, but
Yeah.
it's going to be tight. I think the Roosters will stay in there. I think they'll end up beating the Rabbitohs.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
But at least it makes it entertaining for the rest of the season. Is still 5 weeks out from finals. It's not
Yeah.
like it.
Like 27 when,
Yeah, exactly. And the fun thing is, this isn't the only interesting 3-team pile-up that's going to happen in the finals this year. We're talking Brisbane.
4th place.
Yeah, the dogfight for 4th place is also really interesting. We'll talk about that. Brisbane, obviously, get a massive win over Newcastle.
That was always going to be the case. Newcastle are playing like bastards. There's only one person or 2 people in that team actually try.
Title for Zone.
And Bradman Best, and it's about it.
His fall is still there.
But he's been average in the last couple of weeks.
Another 350th this week, Ben Hunt. He was great.
I thought it was a good touch for Daly Cherry Evans to go to the game.
It's good mateship there. Newcastle are terrible. No surprises. They
fought for the first half. I thought they fought pretty hard.
for a little bit there, I thought, like between like the 15th and 25th minute, I thought, they could be in with a shot, and then it just back on the field. Interesting how that works, isn't it? That happens. They had the minority of the ball. They only completed at 65%. They conceded 14 line breaks and missed 55 tackles. You don't win a game like that.
13 of those line breaks were reasonable.
Should be a few of them. They shifted Gago back to fullback to get rid of Vitano after his 1 week of being terrible. Nothing changed.
No, He was very good.
He's been hurt in the football
Best
thing.
is very.
Yeah, he is.
Who is not good at this football thing is Jake Harper. Getting rid of Jackson Hastings for this guy is still mind-boggling to me.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
I've got a teacher friend of mine who he even thinks it's the stupidest thing that's ever. He's so surprised that they still have a coach.
Adam O'Brien is such a moron. And now stuff came out, was it this morning, I think, that he's probably going to be gone. So good for Newcastle. However, they're probably going to do a Tigers and replace him with a former player. It seems that Blake Green is the favourite for their next head coach.
Okay,
It's definitely a choice.
Hopefully every single team.
he has.
From everything I've seen, he seems to have a good rapport with the players, which is always good to see. I don't know how good his
Coaching ability is.
we will have to find out.
Sometimes it doesn't get quite. Although he was never like, I guess, the top line
He's never
player, but yeah,
It's like if James Maloney was worse. That's basically what he was.
yeah, I didn't really had going through it.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Who did not have a bad game, however, was one Reece Walsh. That's twice in a row where he has looked really, really damn good.
well, overall, yes, he still has moments where he slips up because he's going to.
True, and it's his style of play, but it is coming off more often than not now.
Well, I think maybe the rest of his team is finally actually playing football.
True. Who needs Adam Reynolds? We have Ben Hunt
Who needs Ezra Man?
and Billy Walters for some reason. Billy Walters is really good now.
Who needs Selwyn Cobbo? We have
I think it was more Reece Walsh. I don't think it was.
He was great. Scored a try, nearly 200 meters, 2 line breaks, 2 try assists, 13 tackle breaks. What a game from him.
40-20, did he kick a 40?
He did kick a 40-20. Yes.
He wrote that up there.
I forgot about that one. Yeah, he kicked a 40-20.
Yeah.
Just
He's low-key got one of the bigger boots in the competition.
I don't know how he does this in the absence of Adam Reynolds and Ezra Mann, but when they come back, he turns to a pumpkin.
He probably believe him.
If they could get those to line up, if they could align their cycles,
Normally he and Ezra, I think, are okay, but I think they're
Reynolds steps on everybody's toes.
Reynolds is a million years old. He's
Is that one?
a whole half generation older than he's got.
That one photo, I can't remember which movie or show it was from, but it's Steve Buscemi, like, carrying a skateboard with a cap and going, "How do you do, fellow kids?"
Yeah,
That's strange.
what do you say? Five eight partner's like 21 or 2. His fullback's 23, 22.
It's
Yeah.
a Steve Buscemi Telstra.
I know. Yeah. Well, I'll talk about that at the end
Yeah.
because But yes, Reece Walsh was great. The wing combo of Karapani and Mariner. Man, they could
I
like
think Karapani has really been
these rugby union converts are starting to look really, really good.
Selwyn Cobbo.
Look at Josiah Karapani.
What about the rugby convert Titans have?
Oh, Carter Gordon. Yeah, he had a spinal like fluid thing. That's why he hasn't played this year.
right?
But yeah,
He's really good.
yeah, Karapani and Mariner are great. Payne Haas does his usual thing of running for 200 meters and scoring a try. It isn't normal, but the rest is.
It helps when you're up against defence that's about as thin as cigarette.
Forward pack.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's fair. But yeah, it's good signs for them as they're heading into finals after having a lot of really big question marks.
Next week might be a bit more tricky.
Next week will be really interesting. They're in a dogfight at fourth with the Warriors and Sharks. They play the Cowboys this week, and then a possibly rested Melbourne next week. That's the thing. Warriors run into Manly and the Sea Eagles, as we said before.
And the Sea Eagles, so
Sorry, Parramatta and the Sea Eagles. And the Sharks run into the Knights and Bulldogs. So both ones
all
win.
games could be 1 win, 1 loss. If that's the case, the Warriors.
Exactly. It's
Yeah.
very, very interesting. I have no clue about how any.
I personally hope it's the Warriors because, given their season, I think
They
it was
deserve it. I think they deserve it. I think that's fair.
I hope it's going to be
I
golden.
don't take anything away. As much as I hate Brisbane, they've actually been quite good the last little bit. So they're obviously going to be one of the favourites for the title. But if they finish outside the 4, it's a lot harder to get there.
Exactly. That's fair.
So,
That's that one. And now the second game on the Sunday. That's my summary of that game is wild gesticulating.
go the Cowboys.
They won. How did they win?
The boys.
Explain to me how this. What a stupid game of football.
3 tries in 5 minutes. That might do it.
Who needs to play a full game of football? You can play 10 good minutes and still win.
We're Brendan Burns.
I still don't think he's quite up to Felty, but yes.
Felty was good.
I've said this multiple times. The fact that this game, like any other round of this year, would have been game of the round, it's the third best of this week.
That was interesting. I was reading Clarkey on Facebook going up. He actually picked this as the third best game of the round.
Yeah.
Which was quite interesting
But
because I think it was.
Well, that's because anybody with half a brain would have figured out that this game would have had 1 billion points scored. And that's exactly what happened.
Yeah. 62.
I thought this game was done.
Yeah, you were saying, tell them they're going to win by 30.
I was so close because it was 16 points the Cowboys ran. I was thinking, oh, it's going to be 46-16. I'm going to hit it on the head. And then Scott Drinkwater happened. And Leichhardt does stupid things to football.
He's actually become good, Scotty.
I can't believe Scott Drinkwater was actually playing football.
I think this is, if you want to have a game that summarizes what the Cowboys are this year, watch this one. This is the quintessential Cowboys game for 2025.
Yeah.
Like,
When the Tigers always grow a bit of a leg at.
well, they scored, yeah. I found this very, very funny. So the Cowboys had the 52% of the ball. They completed it 79%, which is great. However, in terms of meters, line breaks, missed tackles, and errors, the teams were identical. How they had identical meters is insane. I don't know how that happened. But yeah, you brought up Scott Drinkwater. I thought his second half was amazing.
We don't like to compare players because, they're not the same. But he's Reece Walsh.
He is Reece Walsh. That's exactly what it is. Yeah.
He's caught the ball, but that's
Somehow.
scored.
Brent Nathan, the world's worst centre scores a try.
Brendan Nathan was trying to be an anytime try scorer.
Actually, probably back. He was playing centre this
Yeah.
year. Brendan Burns, you said before, he's basically Kyle Felt Part 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Just a little bit worse.
Scored a try, 200 metres, 9 tackle breaks. It was a stupid try,
It was.
which is exactly why I think he's Kyle Felt Part 2.
You thought there's no way he's going to
I thought there's no way he scored this.
And he bounced off his left arm, his right arm, and pulled his left arm over the top and gone.
Speaking of old Cowboys like Kyle Felt, I want to sincerely apologise to Jason Tamalolo.
He has been,
Holy hell.
he has been so good the last 2 weeks.
I
You
cannot,
don't notice the difference.
I cannot believe it.
Even the game they lost to Parramatta when he came back, he was good. Right? It's amazing what happens when some of your injured players that are good come back into your team.
Yes. But here's the thing. Tamalolo was not this good before he got injured.
Well, he's had a good rest. So, with
And
the
legs needed a rest. Yeah, 170 metres, 52 minutes, 19 tackles with no misses.
Yeah.
He was great. However, my job on the show is to complain. Reece Robson was terrible.
he was horrendous.
He was really, really good.
Or a Bondi or
Forward passes, forwards, you name it.
stay down in Sydney.
He was bad. Sammy Ballamone, his defense is still terrible.
Balmain's bad at defence.
Every reason he was not in this team was shown in this game.
Viliami Vailier, I like being back because he brings a bit of starch in there. He's a big body and stuff.
I will also say, I think the only reason Cowboys won this game was because Adam Dewey's face collapsed.
That doesn't help, right? When one of your major playmakers gets injured and has to go off. We've noticed that in any number of games this year.
Look, they won. I find it impossible to feel good about a game where they played the exact same they have the entire season. They just happened to win this week. I can't feel good about it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, they won.
They did win. Yes.
Take the win.
I do feel bad for the Tigers. Adam Dewey, we said before, losing Stafford Toa as well because we know how he does against the Cowboys.
He's a good tackle breaker. We know that, yeah.
Seemingly against the Cowboys
Yeah.
more often than not. Or Valentine Holmes, I guess.
We don't know.
But they were up by 12 with 15 minutes left. They should have gone to win now.
They should have.
Especially when they scored.
That's like Cowboys-esque falling apart.
Yes, exactly. It's very Cowboys. I will say this. They scored the try of the season. I'm calling it now.
Yeah, I don't think
That Dream Muller try was the best try nearly that I've
They
ever
just, they
seen
just threw it all over the place and it all came off for them. It was stupid.
for the game that commemorates the 20th anniversary of '05 to have a try like that.
That was probably more exciting than even the Richards try, to be fair.
I was obviously pissed because they scored, but you can't say that it was a bad try.
You have to look back on it and go, well, everything they tried in that particular thing came off.
Once again, like the KO Weeks try isn't going to be the best try of this week. It's just insane. I don't understand.
This is the best try of the year of all time.
This one would be close to the best of all time.
I think it's still behind the Queensland one where
I think where this ranks of all time is how much you weigh situation as well as the actual try itself. Because, for example, like the Kyle Felt try in 2015 isn't like, besides the Morgan flick pass, was nothing overly spectacular, but it essentially won them the game.
Yeah.
But like you said, the one in Origin was a decider.
It was a couple of seconds to go and score.
Time. This is close.
It was a very good try. Look, I'm not arguing with you that it was a good try. I was feeling one of these is going to knock on in a minute, but no, that didn't happen.
Say this. Yes, it was a good try. I agree with that. It was a great try. But the 9 commentator nearly lost his voice.
Well, they were getting bloody.
Who's the non-commentator? Was it?
Matt Thompson?
Oh, no, that's him. Yeah. Yeah.
Look, I'm sorry, that's too much glazing of that try. It's a good try. I don't care.
Perfectly fine.
That is stupid.
I have to disagree because I like listening to commentators and actually like commentating on football.
Well, you wouldn't like listening to any soccer commentators with people score goals, right? Because they go even worse than that.
I love the people who commentate goals.
And that was a lovely shot. And look at that, it's right down the centre of the fairway. Okay, let's go walk for 200 metres again.
For the Tigers, we brought up the best try.
Yep.
Dream Muller, the man who scored it, he had a great game.
Yeah. Although, the under for the Tigers is probably knocked them out of the race for the top 8.
They have
Yeah, they don't have any.
They need some ludicrous things to happen.
Yeah.
Okay. Writing, he said that Brayton Burns' Carl Felt Part 2 Electric Boogaloo.
He said it out
I
loud.
said part. I just thought
No.
it was a part 2.
You don't listen very well.
Not great. Also, the May Bros, both of them were great. Taylor May has been really good. Like, suspiciously so. I don't get it. Why is he good now? I don't. I want to go on record saying
I've never on draft.
I don't think he's pulling a Bronson Sherry.
No.
I just think he was really, really good at this
Oh,
role.
look, he's good, right? And his brother was, of course, good.
Yeah, Terrell May does his usual
Good
thing.
done.
70 minutes, 42 tackles, no misses, 160 meters. Just standard Terrell May affair here. I'm just
The
surprised.
mix of these mays is pretty good for football.
I'm surprised he didn't score a try, to be honest. I didn't captain in fantasy this week. I captain Payne Haas, which worked very well.
Yes, I'm sure it did.
But yeah, Taylor May, great, scored 2 tries and 9 tackle breaks. It's the end of the Tigers' finals chances, which is a little bit more disappointing considering that the Roosters game happened before this, and this could have put them with the
Dolphins and the Eagles. Yeah.
It's over now.
Yeah. It must have been.
However, next season is the one for this team. They are going to be scary if they stay healthy. That's the caveat.
They're getting Clive Pierce-Paul, right?
They get Clive Pierce-Paul, who's great, and they can chuck him on the edge instead of whoever, Tony Sukar, Jack Bird, Charlie Murray. I prefer to have Clive Pierce-Paul over all those guys any day. They got a good team. I'm excited for it next year. I don't like them anyway.
Okay.
Now,
Hey, guys.
next week, the NRL, they come into, I think, their third last week of the year. The Cowboys run into the Roosters at Queensland Country Bank Stadium.
Yeah.
Talisha Harden's back, so Bree Chester shifts back to lock. Lily and Yarra goes to prop. Lily Peacock goes to bench. Lily Dick drops off. There's too many names that are so similar in this team. Big return, Tiana Rastrian-Smith is back by the bench, so they drop Double Dash. I'm very sad about that.
A single dash.
Yeah. No more dashing. Ja'Kai Whitfield is starting at centre. Crystal Blackwell is starting at fullback. I love this move.
He had a good game at fullback, and Whitfield was a defensive excel. So
To match up against Isabel Kelly, this was the only move, in my opinion.
it's sad that Roach is still out.
Yeah, that is frustrating.
Because I think he's a bit better than Malupol.
Yeah, but I don't know where because I still think they would have to play Whitfield at centre. I don't think Roche is back in unless you put her on the wing. But I don't like. Malupol's fine. I don't mind her.
It's really thin and it's match.
The Roosters ran out the same 17 as they have for the past few weeks. This is the game where we find out what the Cowboys are made of. I don't know what it is. If they are competitive, I will be happy.
I think they'll be competitive. Look, they've shown that they can be competitive. They've beaten a number of they beat Sharks, who that was the big that was at Park too. So that was a big right.
But we're talking about good teams.
Yes.
Yes. I'm looking for big games from a couple of the forwards to deal with Olivia Koenig. I think China Palata needs to have a good bounce back game. And Whitfield needs to be on Isabel Kelly's case the entire night. I think he will. This is the way they win this game. And just there's nothing else you can do.
And look, here it depends the game of the season or whatever, and they can still win.
Will Tillett needs to have a great game.
This might be the game of the round era, if the Cowboys could fight.
Well,
Yeah.
I think it'd be up there. Now, the penultimate round of the season. Couple of interesting games. First one,
This will not be an interesting game.
the Dogs play Penrith.
Who have rested 16 people?
There are so many changes. I'm just going to have to end up reading out the Penrith's team list because there's so much garbage. For the Dogs, Kickout was out with a skin infection, whatever that means. So Josh Curran starts on the second row. Daniel Saluka-Fafita joins the bench in place of the injured Harry Hayes, which is sad. I don't like that. Harry Hayes is good. So here's the Panthers team list. We've got Dane Laurie lining up at fullback, who's fine. He's been there before. The wingers are Jesse McLean and Paul Alamotti. That's fine. They've both played Origin football before. Centers, Sione Fonua and David Farley, I think is how you pronounce it. No idea. Halves, Jack Cole, Brad Schneider. That's fine for that. Luron Pateo starts at prop. He's a good player. Luke Summerton starts at 9. He's done it a couple of times this year.
Now here comes some names I've never heard of in my life.
Okay, so second rowers, Austin Diaz and Zach Lipowitz,
Austin Diaz must be Richardson.
obviously, and Zach Lipowitz, whatever then. Maverick Geyer is also there.
That one.
And Eisenhuth is the captain of this team. So that is all you need to know. The bench, Sonny Luke, Preston Rickey, Riley Price, and Billy Phillips. There are 4 debutants here. Liposuction, Fonua, Farley, and Phillips. I'm calling him liposuction now.
That's nice.
Very good.
Who's the last one?
Liposuction. It would be very, very Bulldogs to find a way to lose this. They have lost to Penrith the last 3 times they played them at home. Penrith are just gearing up for what might shape to be a historic finals, which the Dogs win by 20.
I have Penrith losing the first round of the finals. So.
I know you do, but I don't. I do because you're stupid. Okay. So I just want to make a conclusion for Origin. There needs to be excellence in
Winning to 4 in a row. That's enough. Goodness, stop being greedy.
No one thinks of the Dragons players as the best of all time. They won 11 in a row.
That was back when they didn't have a salary cap.
They were
So.
playing against Farmers. Yeah. Yes. That is
I think the Dogs win pretty comfortably.
I think that should, okay,
They're not really resting anybody.
that should be what happens. If that does happen, who knows?
Who's Penrith that one?
Next game. The Lions play the Eels.
Wow.
Both teams are unchanged. This is Josh Adamcar's 200th game. They split the last 4 at Mount Smart Stadium, but Para have won 4 of their past 5 games against the Warriors. This is a classic trap.
Oh, you've got to know that Webster will have them ready, though. I mean, he won't allow it to be a trap. It would have been what the Parramatta guys did last week.
Yeah.
So they're not going to go in there thinking, oh, we're just going to run out and hope to win. They're going to have to play good football.
Look, maybe it's the cynic in me, but I have a strong gut feeling that Parramatta are going to end up winning this game. Although maybe it's just my hope that the round 27 is actually relevant for the first time in a while.
No, I want the Warriors to win so that all the other teams can stay in the
I want the Warriors to win. I think that would be great. I'm just really, really scared
I think having their hooker back is a very big thing for them. Egan has been very good for them, so I think he's kind of steadied the ship a little bit. So I think that's going to help. Look, all credit to the Eels with their win over the Roosters, but it's a little different when you're coming up against a team that has trained with all their players, and if there's no injuries, it'll be harder.
This is fair.
So
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm hoping for a Warriors win. I know what you're saying. I know the Eels have been going quite well. I'm not saying they haven't, but they are in New Zealand, which is also another beast as well. We know this. With 20,000 screaming Kiwis in your face, So,
I can't imagine it's not going to be a side.
Because this team is playing for fourth. It needs to stay there.
I'm intrigued about this game. I'm also intrigued about this game. Friday night, Storm play the Roosters at AAMI Park. There's a bit going on here. So Harry Grant is suspended. Tui Kamikamica is concussed. Coates, Meany, Katoa, and King are all rested. What happens is Tuolangi Tumalatu Brown plays, I think, his second game of NRL. His first game was against the Cowboys up here. I really like watching him. So I'm interested in that.
Kane Bradley, an ex-Cowboy.
Kane Bradley is the other winger. Grant Anderson shifts to centres to partner Marion Stene. Moana rejoins the bench. Sean Bloor is back just in time for the rest of Qatar, so he joins Joe Chan. Will Rawbrick finally makes an appearance in the reserves. Very, very happy to see him close to returning. That's all for Melbourne. For the Roosters, Sam Walker's concussion means Hugo Saval starts at 7 and Sam Smith is the 5'8", which is a combination so nice they've had to do it twice. Daniel Tupou is also back for Junior Tupou, who was really poor. Yeah, he wasn't great. The last 4 here have been won by Melbourne. The Roosters' struggles against Melbourne and Penrith are very, very well documented. I think this could be a very low-scoring, grindy game. If that happens, Melbourne have the upper hand. I think Melbourne will win this game.
Yeah, I think they'll win. I think the Storm.
Now, the Raiders play the Tigers at GIO Stadium. Hot Tamale is back, which is great, but he comes at the expense, soul for a soul, for Xavier Savage, who I think is gone for the rest of the season now.
That was nasty. He was a passenger.
That is the only change for the Raiders. For the Tigers, Adam Dewey is out with a broken face in many places.
That's going to happen if you headbutt Jason Tamalolo's knee.
So, Latu Finu starts the halfback. Keith Mason joins the bench. Stafford Toa is also back. He takes.
That's good for them. That's good for them.
Canberra have won the past 4 at GIO against the Tigers, dating back to 2018. The Tigers don't have anything to play for. The Raiders pretty much need to win to guarantee getting the minor premiership. I think the Raiders win fairly comfortably.
I think it's probably pretty easy.
Yeah.
Especially they're missing one of their best attacking kickers and all that sort of stuff.
Adam Dewey is so good. He's very, very good.
Yeah, right.
Now, interesting game now. The Dragons play the Sea Eagles.
I'm glad you said the Dragons, even though you've written the Saints there.
Yes.
I can't call them the Saints. It's St. George Illawarra.
The Sea Eagles aren't actually called the Seagulls.
No, I think that was just an accident.
No, I do that on purpose.
Oh, okay.
It works. Sea Eagles, the EA joins the words. That's the Eagles. So it's the South Eagles. The South Coast Eagles. There we go. Big ins for the Dragons. Jaden Sewer, Jack DeBell, and Hame Saleh all back. That's big for them. So what happens is Luciano...
That's okay. I think he's best coming off the bench anyway.
He shifts to the bench. Damien Cook is the hooker. Jacob Little goes to the bench. Ben Modoc-Masila is gone. Corey Allen is also gone. Tyrell Sloan takes his place on the wing. Manly run out the same 17 that demolished the Finns. Manly have top 8 aspirations now. The Dragons don't. That's my thing. But the thing is, the Seagulls won last week because they came up against a weakened forward pack. The Dragons now have a strengthened forward pack.
And they'll still want to finish the year strong, right? I mean, even... Yeah, unless you're the Titans, you still want to finish this strong, yeah?
This game could be a coin flip. What isn't up for debate is this will be a very high-scoring, entertaining game. I'm going the Dragons because I hate Manly.
Yeah,
go Dragons.
Yeah. I would have tipped St. George anyway.
Yes. You go with the old Dragons?
Yeah, Dragons. Stuff Manly.
Good man. Okay. The Cowboys play the Broncos at Queensland Country Bank Stadium.
Right.
Yay. The Cowboys run out the same 17, which unfortunately means that 0 minute Zach Labor is still on the bench for no reason. I don't get it. For the Broncos, Brendan Piakura is back. He takes Jesse Arthur's place on the bench. The Broncos have won their past 7 games against the Cowboys. It has not been the mid 2010s of the back and forth. It has been Brisbane domination. Brisbane,
Only 1 year in the last few that the Cowboys have dominated.
Yeah. Brisbane are hot on the heels of the Warriors for a top 4 spot. The Cowboys have not changed anything from when they last played them. If Brisbane lose this, they should contract their entire franchise. Brisbane are going to score 50 in this game.
You're going to score more than they did against the Knights.
Yes.
You're insane. The Cowboys also
Because the
played the
Cowboys
Knights.
play with a lot more reckless abandon than Newcastle do, which means they will inevitably make more errors than Newcastle did, which gives Brisbane more field position. And with the forward pack they have, I don't see the Cowboys standing any chance.
You don't think they're going to get up for the derby?
They haven't. They haven't recently.
Yeah, they haven't been playing as well. I think they've played better the last couple of weeks, so let's see.
I still think Brisbane will win regardless. Even if it's not by 40 points like I'm saying here, I still think they're going to win.
Oh, they probably will. I just want the Cowboys. I'm just wanting the Cowboys to put up a good performance.
That's it, baby, boys.
You're a twit. I hope you know that.
I'm awful at tipping anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
That'll be the Saturday. Done. Now moving on to Sunday, where the Sharks play the Knights.
This won't be true.
No, no, no. Kale Iro is back for the Sharks, which makes nothing worse for Newcastle.
Yep.
So Siosiu Fatalico reverts to the bench with Ken McInnes out for the rest of the year. Jesse Colquhoun is the new lock, with Braden Hamanueli joining the bench for Tuku Hautapua. Newcastle ran out the same 17 because they had no other choice.
Nobody wants to play.
The Sharks have won their last 6 against Newcastle at Shark Park. The Knights are dead weight. The Sharks are also fighting for a chance at the top 4 spot. Predictable outcomes occur. Sharks by a lot.
Yeah.
That's
That one I actually do agree with.
Sharks by a lot. I don't know. I see, even with the Sharks' propensity to play like crap against teams they should beat, I don't see Newcastle standing any chance.
No, the Sharks win this pretty coming.
The Sharks winning.
And Sunday, 4 o'clock. This game will be very, very fun.
I got a 4X derby.
The Dolphins play the Titans.
You said the Cowboys Broncos won the last 4X derby. That was actually the last 4X derby.
No, that's a 4X derby.
That's the minor derby. That is the other one was the major derby.
Yeah.
Dolphins play the Titans at Suncorp Stadium. Nick Kareem is back for the Dolphins. Big in for them. So Avarillo moves to the centres, and Fiona is dropped. Gone. Kulikepu Finifuyaki is hurt, like I said before, so Connolly Lemuelu starts. And
It was essentially the same as Kulikepu anyway, so yeah.
Oblique Alpha joins the bench, who I really like that guy. He's great. Outgoing coach Des Hasler names the same 17. Good on the Titans for signing Josh Hannay. Excellent signing, in my
I should have
opinion.
beat you to it, but we're stupid.
Yes. They've split the last 4. The Dolphins have something to play for now. The Titans don't. And the Titans can't even do the whole post-coach firing bump because Des is still technically in the building. Finns win. It'll be close at a lot of points, but the Finns will win this game.
Yeah.
And they still.
Kareem is the team.
And after the Roosters lose, that keeps them right. That probably puts them ahead of the Roosters.
It'll put them on the same amount of wins, yeah. It's going to be really, really interesting. So much fun. Okay. Steve Buscemi.
Funniest out on TV at the moment.
What do they have on
I legitimately have no idea how to feel about it.
Funny
So weird.
I'm still in shock that
Telstra managed to get Steve Buscemi to dress up as an alien. At least it's taken away from that stupid whistle.
this is true.
Yeah, that's gonna be the new.
But now now in my head, instead of the whistle, it's Steve Buscemi yelling, I don't even know what that is. That is. I can get, I'm still certain. I don't know whether they did this intentionally or not, but him getting his hand caught between the
That's so good, actually.
I don't think they meant to do it. It's like in, is it The Empire Strikes Back?
Well, the guy bumps his head, yeah.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Congrats, Telstra, on getting Steve Buscemi to do an ad somehow.
I do like it, though. It is pretty good. Okay, Amatron, put it out there.
So stupid.
Let's see what we got.
Well,
By Telstra.
Of course. Right.
Oh,
What that is.
it's so stupid.
Also, another congrats to Jordan McLean.
Oh, yes. Came out today. Jordan McLean, his game against Brisbane will be his last of his NRL career. Very storied NRL career.
Yeah.
Great, great player.
Yeah.
Uh,
Won premierships with Melbourne. Unfortunately, he didn't get to win one here. You know,
So I think he played more games for the Cowboys than he did for Melbourne. He
I
was
just think he loves football. You know, and good on him for playing his career.
he's built for football.
He is
What
absolutely.
else is he built for?
Look
I
at him.
don't think so,
I mean-
because he played 13 years. From there, actually, yeah, he
He's
did.
been here since 18, so it's 18, 19, 20.
17 years.
8 years here.
Yeah. So 5 down at Melbourne. Yeah.
Represented is New Zealand. No, he was Australia, wasn't he? At international level, I think he was.
He nearly represented New South Wales.
Oh, did he?
COVID or something.
Oh, he did his car.
Oh, yeah.
I remember that one.
He would have represented New South Wales a couple of years ago. So, look, I like Jordan. He'll probably retire out here. You know, a lot of people who play up here finish up here and stay.
I have nothing bad to say about
No.
Jordan McLean, I don't think.
Well, he could play.
And he seems like a nice bloke as well. So he's a family man, so he's never one to really get in any problems, which is good.
If you're hanging around, I think, a lot of the time he goes to Honors for a complete, you'll probably see him there.
Yeah.
He's a good guy.
He'll probably still end up going to the Cowboys League Cup from time to time as well, given that.
Oh, yeah, we saw Jake Granville there the other night.
With his wild hair,
He hasn't changed at all.
that changed one little bit. And he was just enjoying time with his family, so that was nice.
Yeah, you brought this up before, Cal. The whole Dally M thing. I think what we're going to do is we're going to do one where we predict the Dally M team of the year and a bunch of that sort of stuff. I think in semi-final week is what I'm thinking.
Four finals, just like as another prediction.
Was like an addendum to next week.
Yeah.
Because I feel like because
We
we-
don't.
there's a lot to talk about.
After.
Yeah. I think there could be a lot to talk about post round 27, so I don't think we'll have the time to. In the finals, you have half the game to talk about. I think we have more time. The Tom Dearden thing is really interesting.
Yeah.
How did it do? Because
What do they do? I mean, have the Cowboys absolutely hamstrung him from being a 5/8 of the year by moving him to halfback. You know,
that's the thing.
he would definitely have been 5/8 of the year.
Because you obviously get points each week based on how you play. I don't know if they're going to give him like the points he gained at 5/8 specifically for 5/8 of the year and halfback specifically for halfback of the year, or will they just conglomerate?
They may do that.
Where do they put him in the team of the year?
He played more games at halfback than he did 5/8.
But see,
I don't think he's been this time.
There's probably been a half.
I think Isaiah Katoa would deserve it more. And for 5/8, I think Cam Munster probably deserves it more.
Although,
I don't know what's going to happen.
Dearden, unfortunately for the others, he stands out in a team that's been pretty average. So,
Just a few weeks in these.
Yeah.
He's gonna win it.
and he also had his father die and stuff like that. So,
I legitimately have no clue how they're going to do this.
Dude, Cameron Mustard.
He's going to finish in like the top 4 for Dally M points and not be in the team of the year somehow. I have no idea how they're going to do it.
they're going to have to do it. So they're going to have to put him in somewhere. Utility. I don't know. That's the utility of the year.
Make a completely new award specifically for him.
Yes. Tom Dearden of the year.
If they count Origin points, Tom Dear's probably in the top
I
5.
think the Origin should count towards the Dally M.
Yeah, because they miss out on a game, right? That slows them down. So
They must have at least one game.
yeah. Anyway, that can slow them down a little bit as far as their.
I'm still so scared Tedesco is going to win the Dally M.
I think he could. Because he's
I don't think he deserves. I don't think he's been the best.
They
player.
get coached
I
to
think
go in the
Isaiah
Dally.
Katoa deserves it the most.
that
And then-
might be the case, but Teddy, once again, for a long time there, he was keeping
through.
the Roosters afloat.
Maybe Cook should win the Dalian.
He could be close. He'd be really, really good. He'll be one of the wingers. I think he and Mark will probably be the wingers.
It's not
I
going
don't
to be
think it's
top.
gonna be Brian.
I don't think Brian. He's been exactly. He's been injured.
I think that's
Anyway, we'll get a more
We'll talk about that.
in
Yeah.
a few weeks' time. We'll get a more exhaustive
I
list going.
I think that's all I have to talk about. Do we miss anything?
I don't think we covered everything.
I think we're all good. All righty. That is it for us.
Titans assistant coaches is leaving, I think.
Well, yeah, because they've completely overhauled. I think they brought in Sattler and LaFranchi as part of the stuff. I think LaFranchi is the head of recruitment now, so I guess we'll see how that goes. Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, good luck with your tips this week. I hope your team does well, unless you're a Broncos supporter, and I hope they fall over and die.
You hope that every week.
I do.
Everyone does.
Catch you guys. See ya.
Bye.